Welcome to the 2015 Interpretive Dance and Watercolor Expo. This episode of Tharp World is being filmed live at the Expo. We're so excited to be with you today. I'm Allison Tharp.
I'm Allison OK Frost.
And we're going to do a watercolor demo and sale and express our emotions in interpretive dance because that's what the Expo is all about. As you can see, there's a lot of people around us.
There are.
This is a huge event. It happens every year, and we are just so happy. Allison's wearing a shirt from the 2012 Interpretive Dance Expo, which was an excellent expo.
It was a very auspicious year for interpretive dance.
It was. We'll never forget it. It was incredibly emotional and healing for me.
For me as well. I felt incredibly healed by that experience.
I didn't get a T-shirt, and I regret not getting a T-shirt.
Maybe you can get one this year.
It's not the same.
I understand.
So we're going to do a watercolor demo, different kinds of watercolor techniques. We're so excited that you're at the Expo and that you can see us working. Allison OK Frost is one of my favorite artists. Watercolor is one of the techniques she uses a lot, and I'm so happy that she's going to share some of her techniques with us. I am going to pick up a couple of helpful hints for my own watercolors from her, and I'm going to be doing more of an intuitive, sort of abstract technique using different materials and like fabric dyes and some salt and some alcohol and a couple other like tools that are kind of just for fun. Household items you can find, and then you can use in your own watercolors and your own artistic, creative projects. So the Expo, as you can see, is very crowded. It's very expensive to get a booth here, and it takes a long, long time. You have to wait and wait for them to get back to you, and finally they did, kind of last minute, which I thought was inconsiderate.
It's a vetting process. They have to be sure. They have to wait until the mood strikes.
I understand. Still, for artists of our caliber, I felt that it was, I felt slighted.
You felt slighted?
But that's okay. I mean, we're still going to have a great time at the Expo. The pavilion, which is out of your, you can't see it, but down the way, the pavilion, there's a long line of interpretive dancers ready to express themselves in lots of ways. I can see that they're all already in there. And it's crowded and very, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
It's mesmerizing.
I know, I can't take my eyes off of some of those people, the way they're dressed. I mean, some of their clothing is really revealing. And I'm not sure if I can unsee some of that. But everybody gets to express themselves however they want at the Expo. So we may do some dancing if the mood strikes us. And you're welcome to dance as well at home or here.
Please.
Get up and just free yourself. Get your paper and your watercolors out, and when the mood strikes, just do. Just do. Don't think, just do. Allison's cape is handcrafted. If you're wondering, we got it at a booth next door, and they make all different textures, colors, and it's safe fabric, it's earth-friendly. As you can see, it fits beautifully, it hangs just nicely, and it can move with the dancing. As you can see, the safety pin holds it nice and tight. So feel free to purchase one of those at the booth next door. And let's just get started. I just feel like doing a dance first. I'm gonna just do this, and then this, and then this. I'm gonna start my watercolor. Okay.
That was good. I'm glad we got that out.
Okay, so all of our watercolors are for sale. They are ranging around from the $10 to $20 range, and if you feel like purchasing anything that you see on the show, you can just call 1-844-ART-SHIP, extension 0, and we have an assistant who will help you out. We can also ship the watercolors, so feel free to call us. And just don't even really think about it. Just if you see a piece that you like, let your emotions guide you. So let's just get started. I think I'm going to start. Actually, why don't you start? Let's just watch.
I would love to.
Just watch here.
So I'm going to be doing some watercolor portraits of some of my favorite interpretive dancers. Today, I'm going to start with Iggy Pop.
Excellent choice.
He was once in a rock group called the Stooges. Really just really open and free interpretive dancer, Iggy Pop.
He would often take off his shirt.
He did.
And flop around on the stage in just with such abandon.
Abandon and sensuality.
Yes, he's very sensual.
Very sensual man.
Yeah, he's very sensual.
So I'm going to start with a mixture of some ultramarine violet and sap green. And I find when I'm painting rock stars in general, including interpretive dance giants such as Iggy Pop, it's best to start with the hair. So much is expressed through the hair in interpretive dance.
I so agree. And the way the hairstyles were, especially in the 70s, there was a lot of short and then a lot of long. It was very shaggy, perfect for the time, perfect for the music. And so Allison has drawn out a light sketch of Iggy with pencil and is now putting the paint on the dry paper, just right on top. There's no pre-wetting of the paper.
I'm not doing any pre-wetting for this hair section. So yeah, I'm just gonna work on getting this hair in. I'd also like to mention, if you like what you see me doing here, I will be at Southern Exposure's Monster Drawing Rally next week. That's July 10th at the Verde Club in San Francisco. Another excellent chance to express myself.
Yes, we should always be on the lookout for times and places where this kind of thing can happen, especially in public. And it's extremely crowded. This is a wonderful place to be. There's so much energy, and there's a long line of people to get in, a long line of people to dance. So I'm so happy that we have such a lot of all these art fans here, and I'm just going to get started on something a little bit more abstract. So what I've done with this piece is I have sent a couple of watercolors through a press with a piece of plexiglass on top. And hello. And as you can see, it's made kind of a smeary sort of cloud effect on the paper. It's dried, so I'm going to paint right on top of that. I like to pre-wet the paper before because I like to use the water mostly when I paint and then add a little bit of paint to it. So I'm going to just paint with water a little bit here, adding to that cloud shape. And I'm going to use right out of the container seal brown.
Oh, lovely.
And they make these beautiful little floods, very cloud-like. And then once I see the watercolor on the paper, I can sort of move the water around because I can see where it's going. And just sort of add to and it almost takes on sort of an ocean effect here.
Oh, wow. That is really something, Allison.
Thank you. And after I do that, these are probably going to be a lot more mixed media, and there's not a plan. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, which is a kind of a different approach. When I add the pen to it, it has these beautiful little floods. This is a ink that's meant for film, so it doesn't interact with the water in the same way. And then you can kind of add water on top. And you guys can easily do this stuff at home. Watercolors don't take up a lot of space, and they're not very expensive. So it's a really great way to start doing art if you haven't done much.
Yeah, you can work small. Allison and I are both, working in a size that would be completely appropriate to a kitchen table. Mm-hmm. These aren't stinky like oil paints. Mm-hmm. Speaking of stinky, there are just wonderful scents wafting through this crowd. I can smell patchouli, for instance.
I smell Egyptian musk and lavender. It's all over the place. I smell churros, funnel cakes, fried Oreos.
Armpits,
dreadlocks, everything. Little kids in whatever smell that they carry. There's a couple of princesses nearby who are making balloon animals.
Wonderful.
Very distracting, but
Wonderful.
nice. It's nice, but they're very distracting. That's okay. They're taking some of the crowd away, but I think we're going to win it back after they see some of these finished watercolors.
I think so too.
Oh, this is great. So you're using a different brush at this point and
Yeah.
adding a lot more water to the...
Yeah, so I've
clothing.
moved on to the clothing. I'm just sort of connecting the hair and clothing. By the time you've got the hair and clothing in, you're halfway there. You're basically in the home stretch of your interpretive dancer drawing. So we're right on schedule here. I'm feeling really good. Mr. Pop, I think, would feel great about this portrait.
This is really going a lot faster than I expected. Watercolor doesn't have to take a long time and doesn't have to be very difficult. In fact, it seems like the lighter the touch, the better the result. Do you find that's true?
I absolutely do. Anytime you're trying to force watercolors, the watercolors will win. The only way you stand a chance, you gotta surrender to win. That's how it is with watercolors.
And it's like that with dancing. I'm just going to stop for a second. I have to take care of something.
So for those of you who are not initiated into the world of interpretive dance, Allison is having a feeling, and rather than bottling it or squeezing it or turning it into anger, she's just using her body and letting that feeling just flow through however it needs to. And you guys, there really couldn't be anything healthier than the way Allison is currently using her body. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for your openness and your honesty and your generosity.
This is a really safe expo, and anybody can free themselves in that way. Just whenever you have a feeling, it's good to just shake your legs and your arms, make a little T-Rex if you have to. This is kind of an anxiety feeling. I'm a little bit nervous because there's so many people around, and I'm feeling a little performance anxiety, so the T-Rex dance helps me.
That's wonderful.
Because they're powerful.
The T-Rex is powerful, and through dance you can harness that power.
Yes, I can see that the pavilion is, that there's a crowd moving through. There's a new bunch of dancers there, and these guys look a little bit more coordinated. Sometimes I feel like people kind of choreograph something at home before they come to the expo, and I never really know if that's like true interpretive dance. I know that anything goes here, but when they choreograph it, I just feel like
one wonders.
I feel like I'm not enough.
Yeah.
And that's
I think you expressed it really well.
Back to me, and so I think that also helps with interpretive dance when you can be really, really self-centered.
Yeah, whether you're watching dance, participating in the dance, performing the dance, it is all about you or me.
Yes. And it feels good to do something just for you.
It does.
And it's free. It costs nothing. If anyone's having a hard time paying rent, that is free entertainment. If you're doing interpretive dance, that costs you nothing.
It is cheaper than cable, folks.
It is absolutely cheaper than cable. Netflix?
Spotify?
Oh, yeah. You don't need to subscribe to that.
You do not. All right, so now that I've got sort of my base down, I'm laying in a slightly lighter purple-green combination. Very earthy, very one with the forest and its creatures, and purple and green is how I need to express that today. So I've mixed a Terra Verde yellow shade with a cobalt violet, and I'm laying in my mid-tones here on Iggy's face.
A long time ago, before I knew Allison, okay, Frost into her studio, and no one was around, and I saw her mixing chart, and it was one of the most incredible things I'd ever seen because it was so detailed. All the little colors were labeled. They were they were just arranged in this rainbow, and it was so thoughtful and so interesting. I took multiple pictures. I haven't even told Allison this.
I had no idea.
I feel like now I can be more candid because we're in front of all these people and we're on live TV. So, and I just took it home. I looked at it and looked at it. It was so different from my approach, and I envied it. And I would get bored like halfway through.
That someone, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Like, you can enjoy other people's approach and still have your own approach. It really is. Thank you, Allison. What a beautiful story.
Yes, I didn't want you to think I was a drop. I was waiting for a while. And so I just want a little strong here. But that's what friendship is, and that's what the Expo is about. It's about interpretive dance. It's about watercolor and all of the creative energies that bring those two things together. And as you can see, there's also balloon animals. There's coconut water fresh out of the coconut. There's a lot of, as you can see, we're dressed the part. It's a lot of polar fleece, even though it's hot out. A lot of sandals on men and women.
A lot of adventure sandals. These aren't ordinary sandals. I'm not seeing a lot of cork bottom. I'm not seeing anything Daisy Duke at all.
Adventure sandals is a great way to put it. I've never thought of it like that. I called them kind of like hobbit shoes.
Oh, okay.
Like the clothing of the Shire. Yeah. But adventure sandals really, because, hobbits go on adventures all the time.
They go on adventures all the time, on junkets, on...
Yes. And those straps on the adventure sandals are not going to come off. A man or woman can feel safe that trekking on the sidewalk, your shoe is not going to fly off.
Your shoe is not.
The sole is thick, soft, and very wide, and all of that Velcro and all those straps are going to hold you on tight when you're going on an urban hike or just a hike in Tilden Park or something.
Absolutely.
So I think now with this piece, I'm using different color or different sizes of rapidograph marker with this ink for film in it because of the way it reacts with the water. And as you can see, it's kind of turning into sort of like this amoeba-like creature. It almost looks like it's a model of the universe in a way. And I want to add a little more color. I like the blue, but I'm going to add, this is a tobacco brown. I'm not mixing anything. I'm adding just straight out of the bottle because I like how bright these pigments are, and the water sort of mixes them on their own. And I just add little drops where I need it and use a spray to spread them.
Oh, wonderful.
And then, kind of using the outline, you get these great effects with the ink mixed in. And then it sort of turns into a sort of a brown color when you add the black ink. Another great thing you can do, I like to use salt in my watercolors.
Really?
Because I love when I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
My favorite with watercolor is the randomness you can get with all these different kinds of materials.
The best thing that can happen is the thing that you don't expect, if you ask me, when it comes to watercolors.
It's true.
As much planning as I do, and as much, of an OCD studio practice as I have, I fully recognize that the best parts of my paintings are the ones that happen by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
And I think that's true with interpretive dance. when you're doing a movement and you stumble or perhaps you fall, that can be the most beautiful part because you're the most vulnerable at that time. And that's true art, that vulnerability.
It really is. It really is. I couldn't have put it better myself.
Let's see, what do I want to do with this? I feel like something with some parts this isn't, can you see? So I feel like at some point with watercolor, it's easy to overwork it and you have to lay them down and then pick them up later after the water's dried a little bit. It's very easy to overwork watercolors. I've ruined many, many watercolors trying to add just one more little bit to it and then finding that you can't correct it once it's oversaturated. So I'm going to leave this piece to dry a little bit and start another one.
You know, I don't want to mess this up. I'm in the home stretch here with Iggy, and I think I'm just going to pause for a moment.
Oh yes, just do that. Allison's creating another kind of art for us. It's really beautiful. It's almost like a flower. And it's emerging from a bud and then going back inside. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I just have to acknowledge that.
Thank you.
To acknowledge that. And thank you, everybody. Yes, it's getting quite an applause. That one actually evoked tears from this lady. It's okay. It's safe.
And I appreciate you.
Yes. Namaste. Sorry. Okay, let's continue. So I've got another one started. This happened on the press earlier this afternoon. I am going to use a technique that I haven't used on my show yet, where I use powdered fabric dye, and I'm excited to show off this technique because we have a close-up camera here. This is a RIT dye. It's one of the best kind. It's one of the cheapest, but it works the best. And when mixed with water, it creates a firework-type bloom effect that I really, really love. I use this special tool. It's meant for cleaning ears. I got it in Japan, the Japan Center. It's something that I found works the best for this technique. These can be found, pretty much any kind of store where they have little wooden tools to clean your ears. Don't put it in your ears after you've used it with the RIT dye. That's its only use after that.
That's such an important message. For any of you who use anything that originally is meant for the body in your art practice, once you've used it in your art practice, it's not going back into the back.
I know how much people in Berkeley like to save money and also like to be earth-friendly, but that is not body-friendly.
It's not.
God only knows what kind of diseases you could get if you put this thing in your ear after you've touched these toxins. So I'm mixing it up with a small end. This is brown RIT dye. It works best because of all the colors that are in brown. You have every color in brown. So what I'm going to do is wet the paper first. Because I love the way it blooms when it's on it needs a lot of water for this technique to work. And I'm going to draw a little bit on with pen to create more of a shape. Once you put the RIT dye on the water, it's its own creature. You can't draw really with pen over it because the RIT dye is a little bit chunky and it can clog your rapidograph pens. You could probably use another kind of tool, but I like these the best. I'm just going to create a couple of I'm really into this sort of amoeba sort of look right now. Almost like on Ren and Stimpy when they would show a close-up of what would look like something like on, disgusting, and they would have little hairs on it. Remember that? Yes. They would just get up close and it would be little twitching hairs or something crazy. I mean, it had a huge influence on me probably.
I can see that.
And I still love that show. And so I think that it's a little bit influenced by those close-ups of
whatever they were. I don't even remember, but it grossed me out, and it still grosses me out, and I love that. I remember the nerve on one of the teeth. Oh God, there's like I don't know. So, yeah.
All right, so I'm ready to call this, I think.
That's amazing. That is gorgeous.
So once again, this is a portrait of one of my favorite interpretive dancers.
Can we see it? Oh yeah.
His name again, Iggy Pop. I'm not sure. Do you think Iggy is short for Ignatius?
I thought it was just Iggy was his full name. I never thought about that. I just thought it was his full name.
Hard to say, hard to say. So we've got Iggy here in a very, very limited palette. It's a very sensitive, quick drawing. You know, you have to work quick when you're in a booth here at the Expo.
It's really true.
I'm going to be selling it here at the booth, so feel free to come on down to the Expo. If you can't make it to the Expo, you can always call us at 1-888-ART-SHIP, extension
0 for our assistant.
Extension 0 for our assistant. And I'm going to be selling this lovely picture of Iggy Pop for $20.
What a deal.
What a deal.
I mean, that's how much a churro and a Diet Coke cost at the Expo.
Right. I would also accept a trade for this piece of a churro and a Diet Coke.
So, amazing deal.
Amazing.
It's just
you
unbelievable. Well, the Expo is a really special place. I mean, there's no deals like there are here. We're going to just put this piece up so that anybody who perhaps
needs to think about that, they can, oh, it's so beautiful.
And that is for sale, $20. $20. Unbelievable deal. So feel free to call. That piece is for sale tonight.
I'm feeling very vulnerable having finished this piece. So if you could just validate me by calling in, offering me money, it would, I would feel more fulfilled.
I think it's important because we're giving you this performance to think about what you're giving us, because it all comes back to us when it comes to interpretive dance.
Absolutely.
Bring it back to you. Do you deserve this art? Absolutely you do. Think about what you spend money on otherwise. Churros, Diet Coke, fried Oreos, funnel cake, pizza, barbecue. What else do you eat? Like burgers, and then you maybe get like you play some games at the Expo. There's all kinds of games, and $20 is a special gift to yourself. So think about that. Think about that while we're making work.
And while you're thinking about that, I'm gonna move on to another one of my favorite interpretive dancers. This is Shane McGowan. So you know, I feel like this is a nice palette for me today. I think I'm going to continue with this one, at least for one more drawing. What do you think, Allison?
I think it's great. It's really working. It's earthy, it's vulnerable, it's courageous, and it's affirming. All of the things that are happening at the Expo right now. I can see that the line is getting even longer for the pavilion.
Yes.
It's packed with interpretation and intuitive, creative movement. There's ribbons, there's accessories that have been added, chairs it looks like, and people are using each other to climb on.
Bells, I see a lot of bells.
There's bells. It's getting a little, I mean, it's challenging. It's challenging me right now, some of the stuff that's happening in there, but that's okay because it's anything goes at the Expo. The 2015 Watercolor and Interpretive Dance Expo. It's the biggest one in the country. There's a lot of people here. I feel very, very fortunate to have gotten a booth.
Yes.
And so now I'm just tapping the RIT die onto the paper, and it's creating these beautiful little blooms here. I'm going to spray it just a little bit more. And I'm going to hold it up to the camera so you can see what's happened. This little camera. Can you see that? These are some of the little blooms that have happened with the RIT dye. You can just get a package of this at Walgreens or at CVS or wherever they sell RIT dye, and you can have a lot of fun with this technique. I've used all kinds of materials with it, gels like acrylic gels get really interesting effects with it. You can draw right on top of it. They're really, really fun. I have a bunch of different colors and different kinds of dye, but the RIT dye is the cheapest. And I find it, even though the more expensive ones, you can get more brighter pigments, the RIT dye has more colors in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw a little bit more on this one. Kind of add to the effect here. And these are all going to be abstract. I'm waiting for my other one to dry. It got really wet, and I'm afraid if I hang it up, it will drip all down, and it will just cause me to be fearful. And I'm not ready for that right now.
Yeah.
I need to protect me.
Yes,
and take care of myself around that. I'm sorry, I had an outburst. You know what? I'm just going to have to. Earlier, we talked about using props, and I'm using this as one of my props for my dance. I was really jealous of Allison's cape. I didn't really want to go into it too much because I just wanted the mood to be really fun here, but I was jealous of her cape. I didn't want to say too much about it, but I thought it might be nice to do a little dance with one. So I'm just going to emerge like with the cape, and then I'm going to let it go. Okay.
We're ready for Allison. We want to keep this space open and inviting. Oh, and she's blooming like a flower. She has transcended the cape, viewers. This is really something.
All right, I'm ready. I'm done.
Thank you.
I'm done with that.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. Yes, it's been challenging. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. This was for me, but I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you. As you can see, there's someone making balloon animals nearby. It's a little distracting. It's not even a booth. I don't even think they have a booth. They just are doing it, which is really disrespectful.
You know, there's rules for a reason. You know, I mean,
it's true.
We all need to feel safe here at the Watercolor and Interpretive Dance Expo. And when people don't follow the rules, it's not a safe space for anyone.
No, it's not.
For anyone.
At the 2012 Expo, it was different back then.
It was different.
That was really a special year, and everybody adhered to the criteria. It's so different now.
It's changed.
Sorry. It's just different. I don't know if I'm ready for the changes. Okay. I gotta work it out. It's all right.
It's gonna be okay. You know, we're here now.
That's right.
Now is the only time that we have.
You're right. You're right. I feel that this piece is more explosive as I've gone through a roller coaster of kaleidoscope of emotions today. Oh. I think the dancing really brings out more emotion. I think that the emotions store themselves in the body, and when you move, they just pour out in front of everybody.
In front of everyone. If you're not ready for the outpouring, then you shouldn't be at the expo.
Just go home. I know it costs a lot of money to get in, but just leave if you're not ready. Maybe you didn't do enough research. All of these people and all of their sandals and their capris and their fanny packs, they are respectful mostly, which is really good.
For the most part. They aren't great, I'm not going to lie, they aren't great about waiting their turn in line often.
That's totally true. Yes, that's a good point. They get really pushy.
They can be pushy, but you know what? There are people. What are you going to do?
I can't control everyone, unfortunately. But I can control my body, and I can control some of my watercolors. And I think that's really what I think that's what the whole expo is about, wanting to control and not being able to control. And so letting go of your trying to look good. And Interpretive dance, everybody's going to look like they're having a seizure, basically. Everybody looks bad doing it.
It's not always a good look.
It's not a good look, but the vulnerability really frees us.
It does. It does. That this is, it's a necessary outpouring.
You know, doing art is like that. If you're too uptight, you're just going to look like you're walking with your pants up too high. Maybe you're tucking your shirt down too low. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, something around the waist region.
Yeah, around the solar plexus, which is the energy center of the body mostly. And so we want to be loose there, very loose, very open, very, you know, like in yoga when you like spread your buttocks on the bolster. That's how you want to be, spreading just the flesh.
Just spread.
So that your sit bones are even.
Just hearing you talk about sit bones.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's a tree. It's a sea anemone. Yes. Yes. I'm actually feeling that. I'm feeling that. Oh, yes. That's what it needed. Oh, thank you. That was for us, but I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, that was beautiful. And now I got, but that's what it needed.
That is what it needed.
Would you like to talk to us? Do you have an idea maybe for an interpretive dance? Would you like us to create something custom for you? Just give us a call. The number's on the screen or nearby. It's near you, and I'm sure you can see it. Don't hesitate.
Please call us. We would love to talk to you about your feelings.
We would love to hear about your interpretive dance that you just did and what you discovered. We want to hear about your breakthroughs. We want to hear your possibilities.
Discovering about you.
Call us. We want to hear it.
What are you discovering about us?
It's okay, but don't be too critical because we're very, I'm very sensitive. And I might be upset if you're too critical of me right now because I'm vulnerable.
This isn't the space for that.
No, but if you have something positive to share, then you're welcome to call. And if you have a piece of art that maybe you want to see made or you want to dance with us, like I will dance with you and you will dance at home. And that will be an exchange that is really, really, really priceless.
Oh my God, your generosity just overwhelms me, Allison.
Oh God, it's just, well, I try to give. I want to show this piece that's finished. It looks like perhaps if you extracted someone's tooth, this would be underneath it. This would be underneath it.
Yeah. I see some pustules.
Yes, it might be decay, but in a way that can be beautiful. I'm blowing my own mind right now. Oh, is it good? Oh, and then now it's your turn.
Oh, okay. So I'm working feverishly on this painting of Shane McGowan. He is an interpretive dancer from Ireland, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
And he's been working tirelessly for years and years and years to take the darkness and hurt and vulnerability and love that's within himself and express it to the world through movement. He's a brave, brave, brave man. And I think this portrait isn't really going to pop until we get the teeth in.
Oh my gosh, it's true. Because the teeth are the main part. I mean, he's got some interesting teeth. It looks as if he's never had braces, but it's part of his charm.
It is.
If he had perfectly straight white teeth, how creepy would that be?
It wouldn't be Shane McGowan.
It wouldn't. I mean, his gums are exposed mostly, and he has such a sneer. Oh, he's wonderful.
He's honest.
He's honest, and that's what we're all going for in life. If we should all hope to be this honest one day. So I'm going to go ahead and put this piece up. This is a beautiful abstract piece. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to sell it for $20. Wonderful. If you can see, it'll be lovely framed, and you can see different things in it every single time you look at it. And if you put it this way, you see something different. If you put it this way, it'll just look upside down, but it'll still be pretty, and you can give it as a gift. Someone at the Expo, I mean, we'll sign it. You know, 2015 Watercolor Interpretive Dance Expo.
Yes.
It'll be ready for you. And I'm just going to put it up here with Iggy Pop. And feel free to call if you'd like to purchase it, 1-844-ART-SHIP, extension 0. And we have an assistant who is at our booth, who is right now drinking a Diet Coke and relaxing. But so give him something to do. Call us now. Or if you're here at the Expo, you can just walk up to our booth and buy it. So I'm just going to put that right down here. As you can see, very, very different watercolor techniques.
Yes.
And I hope you guys try them at home. I really, really do. Oh my gosh, somebody wants to purchase something, and we're very happy about that.
But not surprised.
But not surprised at all. I'm going to go ahead and blot this one a little bit with a paper towel, because if I don't, I'll never be able to put it up there, and it's a little bit damp. And if I put it up there, it's going to run everywhere. It's mostly finished, and you guys can do this if you add a little too much water. Oh my goodness.
The phone
is ringing off the hook.
Off the hook.
As soon as we mentioned that our assistant was drinking a Diet Coke and relaxing, the phone started to ring, because they're like,
No.
Those girls are working so hard. There's no reason that young man should be just sitting back there. I mean, he has been dancing, I have to say, like throughout the evening, or I mean the afternoon. Oh my gosh, the phones.
Just wow. Thank you.
Wow, indeed. Possibilities of affirmation. Okay, so this piece, I'm just going to go ahead and hang it up. I'm going to show, I'm going to show this one. I'm going to sell this one for $20 also.
Great.
The low, low price of some delicious fried Oreos, a giant turkey leg, and a lemonade.
And yeah, let's remember we've got overhead people. We've got the cost of this booth. Thousands of dollars.
You guys have no idea how much they've jacked up the price since the 2012 Expo, which was the best one, and nothing can compare to it.
And then are they delivering 2012 Expo experiences?
Not really.
Not
I
really.
mean, it's gotten really crowded, and
it's very commercial.
Pepsi, I mean, whatever. I'm seeing all these name brands, and I'm seeing some kind of big name bands playing here that I wasn't, usually they would just have smaller kind of instrumental, but now like Motley Crue is going to play, and how am I going to dance to that? I mean, how am I going to interpretive dance to that? I mean, I like Motley Crue, but it's a little aggressive.
It can be.
I was sort of surprised. I was sort of surprised that they wanted to do it, but I think probably money's tight for them. They got to get Vince Neil out of jail all the time.
Wonderful interpretive dancer.
Yeah, he was really great. He is really great. He's a small man, but he really knows how to move. He uses what he's got.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, we got 15 minutes left of the Expo, and if you want to talk with us, if you have a suggestion for our booth, maybe for next year, or you want us to do an interpretive dance for a special theme that you have in mind, we will do that within reason. Within reason. And we will also create work if you'd like to see it. We take requests. We take requests. So my last piece that I'm going to work on, mine don't take as long because there's no plan, and they're just very free. It's a very different way to work. But Allison is working meticulously. Oh, it's beautiful. The hair is green. There's neutral tones in his face, and the way the expressions can come out is it's kind of remarkable to me. I love to watch her work. It's so different from the way I work, and I just really love it. They're very realistic, and she's able to capture the emotion in the faces with such few strokes and such few colors that it's pretty remarkable, you guys. And $20 for a piece of her art is insanely cheap. But we want to bring it to you because we love you and we love that you watch the show. And we want to bring art to everybody, not just people who can afford huge pieces and huge prices, but anybody who wants a piece of art can afford to buy something. So call, we only have 15 minutes left, and the prices are, and these are only prices for the show. The prices go up after the expo. This is special expo prices.
Definitely.
So please call us. We have 15 minutes left of the expo.
We would love to talk to you.
And we would love to talk to you. And if you want to talk to us directly, call 1-844-ART-SHIP extension 4. And in my fanny pack is my phone, safe from harm and from sticky fingers because it's crowded. You got to be careful because there has been theft at the expo. I didn't want to talk about that, but people do like steal out of your fanny pack if it's open. So zip it, everybody. Just zip your fanny packs and enjoy the experience. But be mindful when you're sitting on your bolster with your butt.
Your sits bones spread.
Your butt is spread and your sits and bones are even. And then your fanny pack is nearby and you're like in a meditative state. Someone can come and steal your phone. It's happened. It's happened to me.
Oh.
I don't like to talk about it because it makes me sad. Because I was in a special place there and they violated me.
If we can't feel safe at the Watercolor and Interpretive Dance Expo, where can we feel safe?
I don't know. I have no answer for that. But I can see that our assistant is busy with the phones. Hopefully people are calling to purchase work. And you can still talk to us if you'd like. But I understand if you don't want to talk, that's fine too. If you're shy and you just want to watch the artistic process, that's okay too.
Yeah, follow your bliss.
Follow your bliss. I love it. I love that. They should put that on the t-shirt this year.
They should. They should maybe on the bumper sticker.
Yeah, I wonder what the bumper sticker is going to say this year.
I wonder if I have room for another one.
I know. I have every single bumper sticker from the Watercolor and Interpretive Dance Expos from all the way back to like 1989. And my car is like full of them.
Your Volvo?
Yeah. Yeah, my new Volvo. I took them off and transferred them onto my new one with duct tape and with some resin that I painted on.
That's what you got to do.
Because I don't know, like I didn't want to sell them because they're so precious.
No.
And I don't think the new owner would appreciate them.
I hope you warned the new owner that you would be taking them off.
I didn't even tell them because I just didn't think they would understand.
All right, so I feel like I'm in a race against time here.
Oh, that's just gorgeous. The colors are just fantastic. What's that lighter tan color?
That is a mixture of Terra Verde yellow shade and a cobalt violet. It's one of my favorite combinations.
I love that you know the names of the colors. I have never even thought to look at what they're called. I don't even know what they're called. It's so funny. I just grab a color. I call it yellow or light yellow or dark yellow. It's so interesting. That's why I love your color chart.
We just, we have very, very different ways of expressing ourselves.
We really do. It's beautiful. So this piece, I'm loving the way the colors are sort of running. Oh, look at that.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness. I love that beautiful deep violet.
This one.
What's happening? All right, we've got 10 minutes left.
Oh my gosh, only 10 minutes.
I can't believe it.
The time went by so fast at the expo.
It really has, as it always does. But we would really like to talk to you. We're taking dance requests. I mean, what else do I need to say?
If you can give us the first word that comes to mind, I will create an interpretive dance, hopefully to express that word or that feeling that you need to see. And I will do that dance for you because that's what I want to do for all of my viewers and for all of the people watching here at the expo. They're really enjoying themselves. And I think it's because there's people like us who will really give them what they need. And it's our gift to you. So if you're not interested in buying art, maybe you're interested in seeing a dance that's custom designed just for you and for your emotions. So this piece is, I think this is almost finished.
Oh, that is such good news.
I think it leaves a little bit more, a little bit of darkness to it. This is a seal brown. I only know that because it says it on the bottle. I like to say the names of the colors now because Allison's doing it. That's beautiful.
And I have gone and used all the ultramarine violet on my palette. This is so upsetting. I'm trying to scrape the last bits off so I can finish this painting. It's a race against time.
I can't believe how fast you did that one though. Because of its detail, it's kind of incredible that you did that so quickly. I mean, it's been like less than 3 minutes. Working fast is a great challenge.
It really is, and it's for me with watercolor. Working fast is the way to do it. I don't know if that's true for everyone, but for me, you know, I paint fast and then I lean back and look what I've done and I look for a while. The painting goes quickly. The looking is slower.
Interesting. That's really interesting. It's almost like if you overthink the painting, it kind of ruins it. It's spontaneity is what makes it interesting for the viewer because they can feel like the energy that you put into it, and they can't feel it consciously. It's just whether or not it's fascinating to look at, and the spontaneity and the accidents and the little washes, the watercolors that we can't control, are just endlessly fascinating for the eye to look at. And I don't even know why. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is with art. But the not trying hard is the tough part because we want it to look good.
We want to be impressive. We want to be beautiful.
We want to be impressive. That's the problem, you know?
It is the problem. It is the problem.
It's the problem with most everything in life. Like, wanting to look good is the major source of agony for most of us.
Yeah. Why not see if you can move away from that today? Why not see if you can put on a pair of Tita sandals?
Or a fanny pack or a nice cap, keep the sun off your face, a cape, and dance at home. Like, you don't even have to call. We only have a few minutes left. But I ask you, dear viewer, to get up and to dance, to express yourself in whatever movements come out, and just do that for no reason at all, except that it's really fun and super weird, and just do it anyway.
And dance like no one's looking.
Even though, like, our 4 friends are watching, and they're looking and judging. Oh my God.
Oh, we're getting a call.
I can't believe someone's hold on a second. I can't get my fanny pack.
Oh.
Why is my fanny pack not opening? Here it is. Hello, you're on Tharp World. This is the 2015 Watercolor and Interpretive Dance Expo. Who may I ask is calling?
Fantastic. This is Ronald up in Marin.
Oh, Ronald in Marin. This is wonderful. Thank you for calling us. We have only a couple minutes left at the Expo. Have you been watching?
I have been watching. I couldn't make it out to the Expo. I was really excited that you guys were there and you were showing it live, so I could see the dancers and the wonderful art being made.
Yes, we're so happy that you called, even though you couldn't be at the Expo. Maybe next year.
Yeah, I definitely hope so, man. My car broke, and it's kind of a far bike ride. So,
that is just a shame.
This is the best thing ever, man.
That is just a shame.
Would you be willing to do some interpretive dancing when you said something about, hey, man, the first thing that comes to my mind, I'll do an interpretive dance. Can you do that?
Yes. Yes, we can. For our viewers, we can do that.
So, I'm up in Marin here. There's like redwoods everywhere. I really have a fondness for redwood trees and the life cycle of a redwood tree.
It's beautiful.
And how they're born from fire, they hit the fire, they burn the cone.
From fire?
Yes.
And then from that, the seeds sprout and they turn to redwood trees. It's fantastic, man.
I really, really like that. I think that it really captures an emotion about rebirth and regeneration. And Allison is right now creating the branches of the redwood tree, it looks like. And I'm going to make the seedling right now with the phone in my hand. I'm going to create the seedling down here. And I'm going to use this paper towel to describe the ground as I emerge, and then the ground peels away. And the seedling curls
Exactly.
And the tree is really tall. And it sees the sun.
Exactly. I can see redwoods from my porch right now, man.
Yeah, man, I love that you can see the redwoods and you can see us, us dancing for you, for our viewers. And then the wind. And Allison's dance is, I think, the branches. It's beautiful. And you can't hear, but there's a soft whispering that she's doing. You can't hear it from home, but it's the wind, and it's incredible. It's so affirming. Oh, it's so affirming.
Fantastic.
This is beautiful.
Wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I really wish I could afford some of your art. My bicycle's broken right now, so I got to get my bike fixed. But
yes, I understand. I understand. Well, if you keep watching Tharp World, we have different, prices for different pieces. Last week we had pieces as low as $5. So in the future, these are more expensive because the expo, we have to cover our costs. We have to cover our booth costs and our food, and we have to pay our assistant. Mm-hmm. But in the coming weeks, just keep watching, and we will have work so affordable that anybody could afford it. If you can afford a cup of coffee, you can afford a piece of art, and we will ship it to you. So keep watching.
And I just want to go ahead and show this finished piece of art.
Gorgeous.
This is thank you so much for that, Dan. It's fantastic.
Oh well, you're very welcome. Thank you for calling, and hopefully we'll see you at the expo next year.
First time caller.
Awesome. Good night.
Good night.
Wonderful caller. So let's look at this piece of artwork that's finished.
Yeah, so this is a finished portrait.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at the blooms. It's gorgeous. Look at the hair. Oh my God, it's so cool.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier with it. The blooms are, what someone might call a happy accident. We've got them going on in Iggy. We've got them going on in Shane. Please take these guys home. They need a home. They need some love.
You'd be crazy not to buy these. Seriously, these are incredible. If you can see them up close, the little details, let's
go in for a detail.
They're so great. You can see these, it was painted so quickly that you can see the beautiful blooms that happened with the watercolors. Fantastic pieces, just fantastic, and the prices are incredible.
The price on this piece is $20. We're just trying to cover our booth costs, folks. Woo!
Yes, we're hardly making a dime, you guys. This is just to cover our costs of booth rental at the expo. They keep raising the prices. I'm not going to go into it. They keep raising the prices. It's getting more and more corporate, but we're not going to complain. We're going to go with it because we love the expo. Oh my gosh, we have another call. And we're so low on time. They're closing. It looks like the pavilion just closed, and everybody's clearing out. They're like, you can't stay here.
Already played.
Yeah, we missed it, but I hear that it was crazy. Oh, we've got 5 minutes left.
We've got 5 minutes left. Well, maybe we should do. Do you have any more paper on this?
Yeah, let's do a collaboration.
Let's do it.
Oh my God. Let's
All right, guys.
A 5-minute collaboration.
5 minute.
2 Allisons. 1 picture, 1 watercolor, and we're just gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with a wash, maybe something nice and transparent. Maybe an alizarin crimson.
What color would that be? Red? Is that red?
Reddish purple.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. I'm a terrible artist. I don't even know the colors.
So we've got sort of a pink happening here. This is a very transparent pigment.
This is permanent crimson in a brilliant concentrated watercolor. These are fantastic. If you like bright, bold colors and you just want something really, really powerful, I am going to put a really deep red on this.
All right. So I'm going to, I'm coming in here with a viridian that's a very jewel-like green. Again, a transparent wash of a transparent pigment. You can't beat that, folks. And I'm gonna, you know what? I'm going crazy here on Tharp World. I'm gonna ask, can I use your toothbrush?
You can use it. Thank you for asking. It's important to ask for things that you
is.
need in life.
I would never want to violate your trust.
I like that.
Friendship.
That's why Allison's my friend.
And let's see if we can make some magic happen here on the last 5 minutes of Tharp World.
Can you guys see this piece so far? I like to draw the pieces I like to connect them with chords. Oh my gosh, that's great. Oh, wow. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm going to add, this brush has water in it already.
Oh my goodness.
These are great. You can get them, I think I got it at the Japan Center, but it's a water-filled brush, and you can just squeeze the water out, and it's so cool. Because you don't even need to dip your brush, because that's too much of a pain, right?
So I am loving the line work we've got going on here. The color is gorgeous. The shape is gorgeous. I'm going to see in the last 5 minutes here on Tharp World if I can't balance that out with a little gorgeous line work on the other side. Can I? I don't know. I'm pushing myself. I'm pushing myself tonight. And you know, my friendship with Allison Tharp is pushing me.
Mm-hmm. We're both challenging each other.
We're challenging each other, and we're challenging ourselves to be the best and most expressive artists we can be.
That's right, and to be the most authentic. Oh, I don't want green on this. We have to coordinate the colors carefully. I'm going to use another, like a deep pink here. This is called Alpine Rose.
Beautiful. This might be the best piece of the night. So I'm going to do a little more splatter work, but this time I'm using a brush rather than a toothbrush. Just to get a different quality to that splatter. Oh yeah.
So it almost looks like these blooms, like a plant is just like curling around what looks like sort of a water or a lake. I have a little bit of alcohol. Sometimes I like to.
Oh, okay.
I like, because it resists. So that can be really fun. And maybe a little bit of salt.
And we've got such an interesting thing happening here. It almost looks like an orchid.
Yeah,
like the pigmentation
it does.
on an orchid.
It really does look like an orchid. And I can't wait to see how it looks when it dries a little bit more.
Yes.
The alcohol it recedes the color in a way. It like dampens the color, but it also creates these interesting effects. If you want it, we'll hold it up.
So this is one of those situations where observation might change the thing being observed. And you know what? We can live with it. This is a collaboration between you, the viewers.
It's beautiful how it's like kind of...
Watch it as it grows. It's growing. It's growing.
It's wonderful. We can even tip it a little bit more.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
And tip it around and just...
Wow.
We can see it changing right before us.
We're making art. You, the viewer, is helping us make art. And I'm going to set this down. And I know we're almost out of time, but I think maybe we should take the viewers out with a dance.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. We're going to take you out as the expo is closing. People are leaving. Actually, it's pretty crowded still, but they're clearing people out. So before
it's not easy to get people to leave the expo.
It takes forever because they're like lingering. They're still dancing, and to hurry them out could cause them insecurity and discomfort, and we don't want that, and they don't want that. So the good thing about the expo is they're very gentle, and it takes like 8 hours to get people out of here. But in the meantime, we're just going to leave you with something soft and something to bid you farewell until the next Tharp World. Don't forget to watch next week. 8 o'clock. Every Wednesday. Yay!